Okay. Stop everything, listen right now, because this might be one of the most important One Piece chapters of the entire Final Saga. Not exaggerating, not clickbait, not hype for hype's sake. This chapter changes Loki. It changes Elbaf. It changes Shanks' past. And it gives us two mythical Zoan devil fruits. And somehow, Oda still doesn't show us Loki's full form. Classic. Alright everyone, Merry Christmas, because the present is here. I've got the spoilers for One Piece chapter 1170, officially dropping January 4th. So yes, this week is chaotic. The spoilers are messy, the sources are mixed, but the information? Absolutely insane. Before we dive in, quick reminder, like the video, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Alright, let's go. The chapter opens with something we've been waiting for, and dreading. Loki versus the hammer. Not a metaphor, not symbolism, the hammer itself. Ragnar. We already knew Ragnar was special. We already saw the lightning. But here's the twist that changes everything. The lightning does not come from the hammer. It comes from the sky. And that is huge, because in One Piece, lightning is usually devil fruit based, weather tech, or very controlled. This is raw, divine, unfiltered. And now we finally understand something. Why was Ragnar locked away? Why was the room sealed? Why the chains? Because this was never a prison. It was a test. The legendary devil fruit. Ragnar exists for one reason. To protect the chest. And inside that chest, a legendary devil fruit. A fruit that no random giant could steal. No intruder could claim. No weak soul could survive. Anyone else who tried? Instantly destroyed. Only someone like Loki, a prince, a monster, a king in the making. Only he could endure Ragnar's trial. Now here's where things get really weird. We're told, possibly by Harald, possibly by something else, that this legendary devil fruit has never been eaten before. Let that sink in. That shouldn't be possible, because we know devil fruits reincarnate when the user dies. The soul of the fruit transfers to a nearby fruit. So how can this one be untouched? Simple. Because the fruit was never the origin. The power existed before the fruit. I don't believe devil fruits came first. I believe wishes, entities, devil souls came first. And the fruits are just containers. Meaning someone, long ago, already wielded this power. Which makes Loki not the first, but possibly the second. Sound familiar? Joy Boy, and then Luffy. Scopper Gaban, God Valley knowledge. And then Oda does it again. Scopper Gaban steps in and casually drops endgame lore. He explains how to beat invulnerability. The method? You coat your attacks with it. It causes pain. It slows regeneration. Hit them again, and again, and again, until their regeneration can't keep up anymore. This isn't theory. This is experience. And Gaban didn't just learn this at God Valley. He learned it because, yes, the Holy Knights tried to kidnap Shanks. Multiple times. The world government always knew who Shanks was. They knew he was Garling's son. They knew he was on Roger's ship. And every time they tried to take him, the Roger pirates beat them back. Again and again and again. Let that sink in. Shanks being special was never a secret. Not to Roger, not to Gaban, not to the government. His entire childhood was shaped by this. That's insane. The fight continues. Loki vs. Ragnar, both exhausted. Loki's hammer breaks. Ragnar can barely move. And then the hammer transforms into a squirrel. Yeah, I know. But if you know Norse mythology, you already screamed. This is Ratatoskr, the messenger of the world tree, a liar, a manipulator, a two-faced trickster. And yes, this confirms it. Ragnar has a mythical Zoan devil fruit, a devil fruit eaten by an object. Ratatoskr looks at Loki, accepts him, opens the chest, and hands him the fruit. Loki eats it. His hands turn into claws. Transformation begins. And then silhouette. Only a silhouette. Worst gen spoilers say it's Nibtugr, a Western dragon, serpentine, ancient, Dark Souls end boss energy. Not Kaido, not an Eastern dragon, something darker, something older. And it matches the Elbaf mural perfectly. Fenrir? Off the table. Harald's death. Final moments. Loki, back in giant form. Conqueror's Haki coating everything. A massive lightning strike crashes down. Harald is obliterated. We don't see Loki's full form, only the destruction, only Harald's POV. And then, end of chapter. Why Shanks chains Loki? So now the real question. Why does Shanks later imprison Loki? Did the fruit corrupt him? Did Ratatoskr manipulate him? Because Ratatoskr is not innocent. He whispers, he lies, he influences. Maybe Ragnar went insane. Maybe Loki follows. And Shanks had no choice. Harald would be turning in his grave, if there was anything left to bury. Final thoughts. Let's recap. Ratatoskr, confirmed. Loki, likely Nidhugger. Shanks' past, massively recontextualized. Elbaf flashback, possibly ending. Final Saga, accelerating. And Oda, he makes us wait again to see Loki's full form. Cruel. Absolutely cruel. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Subscribe for more One Piece Final Saga theories, because the biggest lies are still waiting to come true.